Hey guys, in today's video we are going to cover everything that you need to know about properly setting up and using a GoPro. This is a very important part of day-to-day tasks on all job sites here at Aquatic Edge. By the end of this video, you will know everything that you need to know to master the GoPro. As you can see in front of us here, these are pretty much all of the materials that we use on a daily basis when setting up and using the GoPro. We have our batteries and the charger, the actual GoPro itself, one of our many mounts, one of our many solar chargers, and a twisty. And we are going to cover what all of these are used for, and we are going to go in detail on how to set up the GoPro, how to get it ready, and how to get it recording. So let's go ahead and start with the GoPro here. We currently have two GoPros. They are both the exact same, and this is what they look like. As you can see, we have a power button right here on the side. This will double as the power button and the mode button. And on top, we have the start and stop recording button. There's also a little latch on the side that you can pull down to open up. And this is where the battery and the SD card, which is in this little slot right here, are stored. This is also where you will plug it in with a USB-C cord to charge the GoPro. As you can see, it slides right in there. So let's begin by going ahead and turning on this GoPro and kind of getting into the settings and what we use most here. So to turn it on, you're just going to go ahead and click the power button on the side. You'll hear 3 beeps and you will then see a screen. Every time you turn on the GoPro, it is going to default to the video mode. You can tell that it is on video by right here on the bottom middle of the screen. It'll say video. And what we can do is we can change this mode one of two ways. We can either use the power button, and if we click the power button, it'll change modes. So it'll go to photo or to time-lapse and then back to video. The second way that you can change the modes is simply by swiping on the screen to time-lapse or again over to photo. What we use here the most at Aquatic Edge is time-lapse, so that is where we will spend pretty much all of our time today. One thing I want to point out before we get into talking about time-lapse settings is the battery life in the top right. As you can see, we're currently at 89%. The second indicator in the top left is our SD card storage. So right now you can see that this SD card is pretty much empty. The indicator shows green, and it shows that we have 4 hours and 51 minutes of total storage that we can currently use for the time-lapse mode. Now to get into some more of the nitty-gritty settings here for the time-lapse, as you can see, we have 5 different buttons on the screen here. The ones that we're going to be working with most are the magnifier glass with the plus and this little clock-looking button here on the right. So how the time-lapse works on the GoPro is it takes a still picture every so many seconds, which we can set. The more often it takes a picture, the longer the video will be. The less often it takes a picture, the shorter the video will be. So if it's set to 5 seconds, it'll make a longer video and we'll kind of be moving around a little bit slower. If it's set to 30 seconds, the video will be much shorter and we will be visibly much quicker in the video. So what we find is that 10 seconds, which you can see right here, the 10S indicates that it's currently set to 10 seconds. That is what we find to be kind of the sweet spot for most of our jobs. So if you're going to be somewhere for a longer period of time, like 5, 6, 7, 8, or even more hours, what you can do is you can click on the clock button here on the top right that is currently highlighted blue, and you can adjust this slider up or down, whichever direction is needed, to get the correct video. So like I said, 10 seconds is usually the sweet spot for us. If needed, it could be bumped up to 30 seconds, and this will make a shorter video, and it'll make everybody in the video look like they're physically moving faster. If we were to take this down to 5 seconds, everybody in the video would look like they're moving much slower. So this isn't a bad idea if you're going to be at a clean out for maybe only an hour and a half or 2 hours. If you set it to 5 seconds, it'll make it much easier to see what's going on, but we will also still get the right length of a video. We typically keep it at 10 seconds, and you shouldn't have to mess with this very often. As long as you can see that on the main screen here, it says 10S, everything should be okay. Another option that we have is if there is nowhere great to set up the GoPro close to the job site, and it's kind of a little bit far away, you can go ahead and click this magnifier glass on the left, and this will allow you to zoom. What you can do is you can adjust the slider from anywhere between 1, which is default, to 1.4, and as you can see, that zooms in the camera or zooms out the camera. If the GoPro is going to be set up somewhere that's a little bit further away and it's kind of hard to see, go ahead and bump that up before you start the recording. You can see if the GoPro is zoomed in, the magnifying glass will display blue. If you go ahead and set this back to the normal 1.0, the magnifying glass will not be blue. That is the indicator that'll tell you if it is currently zoomed in or not. Now, once you know you have everything set up properly, to start the time lapse, all you have to do is click the button up top and it will start recording. You will know you're recording based on the red blinking button on the back, as well as all of the options on the screen go away. You will see the timer up top. And if you go ahead and turn this around, you will also see everything mimicked on the front, as well as a screen display on the front and a red blinking light up top. So this is how you can tell that you are currently recording and everything is good to go. When you need to turn the time lapse off, simply just go ahead and click the same button again. You'll get multiple beeps and you will go back to the original screen that we were just on. And now we are no longer recording. No red lights are currently blinking, another indicator that we are currently not recording. Now, if you want to go ahead and watch the video that we just took to make sure everything looks good, you can go ahead and swipe up on the screen, and this will go ahead and play whichever videos we just took. So obviously, this video is very quick, but if I go ahead and click play, it will play the video just like normal. And then you can swipe left and right to go ahead and pan through the videos. This GoPro itself doesn't have any videos on it, but if I go ahead and turn on one of our other GoPros, same method, click the on button, I can go ahead and swipe up, and you can see the video will play itself, and I can swipe back and forth to get to other videos. This is how you can review footage to make sure everything looks good before leaving for the day. Once you're done for the day and you're good to wrap everything up, you can go ahead and hold the power button on the side for about 3 seconds and the GoPro will power itself off. It'll give you the powering off indicator as well as a few beeps and the red blinking light. That there is everything you should need to know about actually operating the GoPro itself. Now we'll kind of go over a few of the other things that you need to know when setting up the GoPro, charging it, and things of that nature. So as you can see here, this here is one of our many tripods that we have. We use these to hold the GoPro and set it in place while we are working. This mount here has a little screw up top, and on both of the GoPros, as you can see, this middle hole on the bottom will screw right in to the mount and hold it nice and secure. Now the GoPro will be mounted to the top of the tripod, and you can use the legs, you can move them out, you can bend them, wrap them around tree branches, wrap them around shovel heads, things of that nature. You can also adjust the angle of the GoPro by loosening this lever, and you can adjust how the GoPro sits up top. This here is very important that you make sure wherever the GoPro is set is at a good angle, it's nice and level, and you can see everything that is going on. Once everything is set up with the mount, the next step you're going to want to take is getting the portable charger plugged into the GoPro. This here is one of our many solar-powered chargers. If you go ahead and click the power button, you'll see the amount of lights that light up indicates the battery life. This one is currently fully charged. The green light that shows here indicates that it is currently keeping its charge based on the solar power. The solar power doesn't necessarily keep it fully charged, but if you have a fully charged battery sitting in sunlight, it typically doesn't die on you in one day. So it kind of helps make the battery life last longer. What you can do is you can go ahead and pull this open up top, which will give you access to the charging ports. The two larger USB ports are for power out. The smaller USB-C is for power in. So if we need to charge our GoPro in the field, you'll go ahead and plug in your GoPro power cord to one of the two USB slots. You will open the slot on the side of the GoPro, and you will plug in the USB-C into the bottom of the GoPro. If I now turn this GoPro back on, and it also indicates by the red light, but if I go ahead and turn this on, we will see in the top right that it now shows a power symbol inside of the battery symbol. That's how we can tell that we are currently charging our GoPro battery from our solar bank. Once this is all set up, you should be good to go, and the GoPro will be rolling for the whole day. If a battery pack is not fully charged, or if we do not have a fully charged battery in our GoPro, you may need to charge the battery pack or put in a different battery. You will know if the GoPro dies. If you are close enough, you will hear a beep that indicates that it turned off. It is also a good idea to check from time to time when you're walking near the GoPro just to see if either the red light on the front or the red light on the back is blinking. If that is not blinking, that means that the GoPro is not powered on. When it comes to charging the power banks, what you can do is simply take the USB-C end of the GoPro charger or another charger on our charging table, plug it into the USB slot up top, and provide a power source from a cord or outlet, like so, and you'll see that the charger blinks as it is charging. If it only has one bar, you will only see one bar lit up, and that's how you know you are charging. Now let's say you need to charge the GoPro battery. What you're going to want to do is come back inside the side of the GoPro. You're going to want to grab the white tab that you see here and gently pull. This will remove the battery from the GoPro. This here is what the GoPro battery looks like. We have multiple of them. All of our GoPros take the batteries that have the white bottom and the white top. If you see a battery that has a blue bottom or a blue top, that is the incorrect battery and it will not work with these GoPros. Now to charge these batteries, you're going to take the GoPro battery charger, which looks like this, and you can see that there's a couple prongs there and it might be hard to tell, but the back half of this is a little bit raised compared to the bottom. And if you look at the GoPro battery itself, it matches that. So what you're going to want to do is take it in this orientation so that the deeper part sits in the indent, and go ahead and gently push this in. You'll hear it click in, and you can charge 2 batteries at a time. Once they are plugged in, you can take your USB-C charger and plug it in to the back port of the battery charger, and you will know that everything is charging once your lights light up in the front. These lights will turn green once the batteries are fully charged and you're good to roll. Now when it comes to using the solar bank, it isn't always super easy to find a spot to put this because our cords are not super long and you do not want to have the weight of this pulling down on the camera. So what we like to do is use these twisties to help take some of the stress off of the cord. What you can do if needed is wrap a twisty around the power bank, make sure it's nice and snug, and you can twist this on itself, and then you can twist the twisty itself to the shovel or the tree branch or anything that you're hanging the GoPro on, and that'll keep the tension off of the cord that is plugged into the GoPro, and the GoPro and the battery will kind of hang independently. That there is pretty much everything you need to know about how to use, charge, set up, and record with the GoPro here at Aquatic Edge. We use time lapses the most. Same exact setup, same exact procedure if you want to take a picture with the GoPro and or a regular video. But like I said, time lapses are what we're using here the most. And it is very important that we are collecting good footage so that we can use it for marketing and media for things like home shows, Instagram, Facebook, and all of that good stuff. Remember, without us getting footage, we can't promote the business. When it comes to transporting GoPro materials, we have these nice little book bags that we like to call media kits. We have 2 media kits. Each kit has a GoPro, batteries, chargers, etc. We make sure that everything stays nice and neat within the backpack, and these backpacks always travel in the cabs of the vehicles. They do not get put in the back, they do not get put underneath anything, because there's a lot of expensive stuff that's easy to break in these bags.